listening to the Bluejay Breakdown.
We're back for another episode of Bluejay Breakdown. Mike Sautter, Jacob Padilla here to talk all things Creighton men's basketball. And, just one game at St. John's since we last talked. So
did not go well. That's one way to put it.
Well, Trey Alexander went well.
Yes, and then nobody else. Right? Ryan Kalkbrenner on defense, fantastic. And that's pretty much the end of the positive things to say for this game. It was an 80-66 loss for Creighton at Madison Square Garden. Kind of just a sluggish game. They fell behind by 10 early, rallied to take the lead. They got some stops and started getting some runouts, some transition play. Took the lead, and then St. John's closed the half on a 19-5 run. They just could not make anything. Fell behind by 13 at halftime. They chipped away at it in the second half. They cut it down to 5, and then again, St. John's responded with a 15-4 run. First 6 by Jordan Dingle, last 9, and on a 9-0 run by Dennis Jenkins by himself. Jenkins was fantastic to kind of slam that door shut. That stretched it out to 16 with 3 minutes to play, and Creighton just ran out of time. Didn't have enough buckets to get back into it. So Greg McDermott talked about St. John's and how they were a tough matchup going in for their defense. And a lot of that is because of how comfortable they are in the mid-range. And they are one of the better mid-range teams in the country, just near the top in terms of efficiency. They shoot almost 48% on close mid-range, 44% on a little bit further away. And obviously that's what Creighton's defense is designed to give up. And St. John's, they shot 15 and 26 on non-paint twos. So that's pretty much all those mid-range shots. That being said, that's 30 points right there. That shouldn't be enough to beat you on their own. They actually defended their lane really well. Kalkbrenner had 8 blocks, career high. Flirted with a triple-double there with 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 blocks, and 4 assists. But they just played so poorly offensively that it was enough for St. John's to take control of the game and maintain it.
Yeah, 23% from 3 is not going to get the job done.
No, not at all. And a lot of that, Baylor Scheinman came out, hit his first 3, transition was their first bucket, went 0 for 9
Missed
the rest of the game.
9.
Yeah. Stephen Ashworth went 1 for 6, and the one he made was like from 35 feet.
Yeah. It was
so when you got those two combined to go shoot 2 for 16, it's going to be tough to win, especially because Kalkbrenner they never really established him consistently. He missed a couple bunnies inside, didn't hit any of his threes, went over 2 there.
We're talking 2 of 18, everyone outside of Trey Alexander from 3.
Yeah. And Trey was fantastic.
Yeah.
Season high, 31 points, 12 of 23 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line. You look at it, he basically scored equally at the rim, from mid-range, and from 3. So he really well-rounded three-level scoring performance for him. And he actually, outdueled Dennis Jenkins to a certain degree. Jenkins finished with 27 points, 6 assists, 12 of 18 from the field, just 1 turnover. So he was fantastic for St. John's. But those two kind of canceled each other out. The difference was Jordan Dingle finished with 18 on 8 of 13 shooting. He was that second guy that St. John's got rolling, and Creighton never got that. They had too many guys. Again, I think Ryan Kalkbrenner, Stephen Ashworth, and Baylor Shireman all had off days at the same time. And Mason Miller was a little under the weather, apparently, it sounds like. Greg McDermott decided, he only played 11 minutes, decided to go small basically the entire second half with Francisco Farabello out there. And they got crushed on the offensive glass. It didn't end up hurting them on the scoreboard too much because second chance points were even 8-8. They defended those second shots really well, but that prevented Creighton from getting any kind of transition opportunity. They were never able to get into a rhythm offensively. They're scrapping, they're fighting for their lives on every single rebound, and didn't win enough of them to kind of figure some things out offensively. So not something that I'm terribly worried about in terms of how this team is trending. It just, sometimes guys have a bad day. I don't think it was a letdown. I don't think if they were riding high after the UConn win, the way the schedule set up allowed them to kind of enjoy that game while also getting back to work, getting some rest, and then really locking in on St. John's, who they've seen before and who they needed to survive a shot at the buzzer to beat the first time. So pretty sure St. John's had Creighton's full attention. It just sometimes guys don't play well. If everybody played up to their potential every single game, basketball would be a lot more boring game. That's just not how sports work. Sometimes guys have an off day, and I think off day for guys offensively, coupled with the way that St. John's plays defensively, is what led to this loss for Creighton.
Yeah,
it's kind of a one-off.
We talked before. I mean, it coming down the stretch here, it's not easy for Creighton at all. I mean, Seton Hall, Marquette, Villanova.
All teams they struggled with or lost to.
Right. So it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
But the metrics didn't really hurt them that bad for that loss.
Dropped 2 spots at 2 in KenPom. They're still top 25 on offense and defense. They're still 11th in the net. They're still kind of in that 3 line. What this did is really pretty much ended their chance at a 2 seed, most likely. Yeah. Unless they make a crazy run in the Big East tournament and beat UConn there or something like that. But they're still in line to get that 3 seed if they take care of business the rest of the way here. So they'll ultimately be fine from this as long as they bounce back and kind of get back to playing the way they had been. You mentioned Seton Hall coming up next.
You're 2-1 or something here, right? Like, at Villanova is always hard.
Yeah.
Marquette's a good team. Seton Hall's a good team. Like, if you can find a way to go 2-1 here, I think you'd be okay.
Getting that win over Marquette would be huge because of what it does for your resume. It adds another top 15 win.
Marquette's 5th in the country.
Yeah. Adds another top 15 net win to your rankings to kind of go up there with the UConn win, with the Alabama win, to put at the top of your resume to kind of, once you get down to the decisions, like, okay, they got some really good wins here. Let's put them there. So that's kind of what it is. It's not going to hurt you if you lose that, but you want to defend home court. You want to give those guys back what they gave to you. But first they got to face Seton Hall, which that was the crazy 3 overtime game. That'll be on Wednesday, and Seton Hall's won 3 straight, beat Xavier, St. John's, and Butler. They're sitting at 56 in KenPom. They're 41st on defense and 16th in offensive rebound percentage, and that's something that has caused Creighton problems at times. So they're going to have to take care of the defensive glass there. Last time we saw, Trey Davis gave them real problems. He's a tough matchup for them. And Kadari Richmond had triple-double, but also took 32 shots. So those are kind of the key guys that Creighton will have to lock in on defensively again. And we'll see kind of how the matchups work out. They did a pretty good job last time, and they're going to have to win those again. So that's the Q2 opportunity for Creighton. The last 2 are both Q1, I believe. So, this is a chance here for a good win for Creighton, taking care of business, and then going to Marquette, or hosting Marquette on Saturday, coming back there. They're 13th in KenPom, 12th on defense, 24th on offense, really good on both sides. They're 11th in forcing turnovers, and that was a huge key in the first one. Giving up offensive rebounds and turnovers. That's how Marquette won the first game, because Creighton had the lead early. They were outplaying them early. Marquette just got more possessions than Creighton did. So you're really going to have to lock in those 2 areas and find a way to contain Tyler Kolek.
Yeah, he's not bad.
They did a really good job on him the first time, but since then he's been on an absolute tear. Obviously, UConn kind of shut him down, but before that he wasn't really in the kind of player of the year conversation again, and he asserted himself right back into that race with that stretch he's been on. So he's certainly capable, and Osa Oghodaro is a kind of a tough matchup with the way that their 2-man game works against Creighton's defense. So big week here for Creighton. I think we'll see. Guessing the fans will be ready for it. Last 2 home games that certainly you're not going to replicate the UConn atmosphere, but
some of that energy.
Yeah, exactly. I think with these 2 teams coming here to CHI, the fans will be fired up for it, ready for that one. That Marquette game will be senior day for Creighton. Obviously, Baylor Shireman, Francisco Farabello. I mean, Baylor, particularly what he's done over these last 2 seasons, and Creighton.
Could be a couple other people.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we hear, how they choose to approach that, because Stephen Ashworth and Ryan Kalkbrenner are technically seniors, but they've got
Could
the
come
COVID
back,
year.
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how those two in particular choose to handle that day. But it'll be the big week for Creighton. And we will be back next week to break it down on Bluejay Breakdown.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.